To be fair, I think you fully misunderstand everything.
Yeah.
One, there's nothing going on between me and Lacus, Luna Maria. But two, there's nothing going on between me and you, Luna Maria.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and this unhealthy bluish light that I'm being bathed in is just because of the opening scene of the episode of Gundam Seed Destiny is blue-green water, I guess?
Yeah,
so,
on the beach, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I just looked up at my camera, it's like, ooh, this is weird colorization. Because otherwise, going in, we have a comment, of course. From Friendrear756 from the Patreon, from the episode The Hidden Truth. Sorry for crossing into what you considered spoiler territory. I thought I was being vague enough not to be considered for it not to be considered spoilers in some of my points, but I will be more careful from now on.
Thank you.
Well, I responded to their comment before because this was also a back and forth thing. Because I said I err on the side of caution, so better safe than sorry. Yeah, that's not going to mean anything to anybody. Also, you did it in reverse. It'd be more like this. I guess now I have to kind of explain. To make sure that the things are operating right, but not to spoil myself, I will do something like this, which is to hide everything on screen, but to verify that like the subtitles are right, because the subtitles are on the bottom of the screen. Doing this would show me fucking nothing at all. On that note, there was something I was planning to note in a future episode that you may consider spoilers. The events at a specific point in that episode are very easily misunderstood, and I intended to try and indicate that you should pay close attention at a certain relative point to try and avoid misunderstanding what was actually shown. I misunderstood what happened for years until very recently. Would you prefer I do not? Sorry, I don't know why I can't read today. I went through this whole thing of trying to help you fix your camera where I read a bunch of shit, and now apparently I burnt out on reading. Good job, me. Especially now that we're going to watch a thing that requires a lot of reading. Would you prefer I not do this as a comment in the pair of episodes before these events occur, and just clarify it as a note in my comments to that episode? Please let me know what you would prefer. I do, and I'll try not to have any spoilery notes from now on. And I already think I put out there that the preference is let us misunderstand on our own, and then reply after the fact. That way your notes will also be in the same area as our comments.
Yeah.
Or rather, sorry, your comments will be in the same area as our notes. My brain. Maybe I need some water. Maybe that's what's going on here. Starved my brain of liquids.
Chug.
Anyway, my notes for this episode. Lacus is bothered by what Mir is doing, and was unaware she was impersonating her until after she left Orb.
Is that from... No, that's from the episode The Soldier's Life when they're on the water, right?
It's whenever they left Orb. I mean, I don't know what you're asking.
You know, because the last two episodes was the clip show, and before that was the big meeting where they explode about logos and all that. So yes. I guess you threw in that, but we don't see Lacus in either of those episodes. I was like,
I do enjoy that I can tell what the problem is, but I'm gonna I keep letting you go on. We're still in Fenrir's notes.
Okay. I thought it was like, to my notes. I was like,
No, I said my notes for this episode because I'm still in Fenrir's comment. You thought Fenrir was just apologizing, and I thought, I'm just going to include Fenrir's apology as a comment in the comments. No, that's just the start of his comment.
Okay. So she didn't know until she saw the broadcast. Okay, fair enough.
That's all you got?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
We already talked about it, yeah. So
yeah, I know. Well, here's the thing: is that they're commenting about it as though we didn't say that same thing. So I assumed that you would have some clarification on your notes about this, in that this person is saying, hey, you must have gotten this wrong. Let me clarify for you. And you're like, okay.
Well, we didn't get. Well, I speculated when and where Lacus would have known about it and how she felt about it. Clearly, when she looks at the screen, she goes like, "Yeah, no, that's not me because I'm here," and everybody else is commenting about it, and she kind of feels bothered about it. But that was more about her emotions at the moment. It's like, okay, I know this is happening. How do I register? And she was pretty sort of try to be reserved as much as possible. She wasn't giving a lot away. That was my whole comment thing.
I mean, I pointed out the fact that she turned and looked at everybody with like this unhappy face.
Yeah.
So I was already pointing out that she was bothered. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what the comments reading here, as though we didn't think that. Anyway, the song Mir is singing in This Quiet Night was also sung by Lacus in the first season. It's just that Mir's version is sung as a rock pop song.
So, yeah, I mean, they do make a lot of comments and will continue to make comments about how she changed her style, right? No, she's more of an idol, really, like, more pop, more, help the troops and get them excited to.
I mean, I prefer Mir's version.
Yeah.
Well, because it also involves audience participation. Like every couple of lyrics, the audience is like, yeah, they're all cheering in with it. Like it involves a chorus, and the chorus is the audience.
Yeah.
Kira isn't certain Durandal is behind the assassination attempt on Lacus, but is extremely suspicious of him since he has the clearest possible motivation for wanting Lacus dead currently, i.e., the assassination attempt occurred almost concurrently with the appearance of the fake Lacus, who is providing political legitimization to all of Durandal's actions.
Except the timing is wrong, because if you want to make sure that Mir is the one seen as the one and true Lacus, and you don't want interference, you would have tried to kill. I mean, he could still have tried and just got the timing wrong, or couldn't have done it before, or something like that. Try to kill, Lacus first. She's dead and buried. There's only one person to talk about, right? Or there's a third option here where Durandal didn't move earlier because to do so, if it was discovered that he made this move against Lacus and by extension Kira and the rest in Orb's territory, that would push Orb ever closer to the Alliance, which is whatever happened. So he already knew that the Alliance, for all intents and purposes, was Orb had made the alliance with the Alliance, joined the Alliance, and so it's like, I mean, we're already enemies. Might as well, go for broke, right?
I mean, I think the timing is off anyway, because we know that Mir was wandering around the plants before she gets revealed as new Lacus.
Oh, just Lacus, basically.
Well, no, I'm saying new Lacus because there's a difference between personal and private life. Or, I mean, personal life and public life. But, I mean, that's how Athrun runs into her, is that she is just out and about. So, people could have seen her already.
Yeah.
Zaku's do not have any organic parts, and they're completely mechanical.
Yeah, the whole... I mean, I think we also talked about it could just be the descriptor of...
Again, the descriptor has bio in the name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I disagree with this, but again, I don't read the technical manuals. And honestly, I don't give a shit. I mean, I don't give a shit when it comes to if you're going to argue a bit about me with what the technical manual says. Dude says, I can't remember now, but I remember it was bio something parts. Bio. Like, if they use the wrong word, that's on them. If the argument is that guy was wrong, Like, there's just some crazy dude wandering around with the other mechanics saying whatever the fuck he wants to say.
I
That's
think it
an
was over the
argument.
intercom. Yeah, This is something that was done over the intercom. So yeah.
Well, sure. So maybe it's like, like at a retail store when somebody walks up to customer service, just grabs the microphone and says something funny. If that's the case, then sure, that's an argument. But dude said the thing. And that's in the English and in the subtitles. So, as far as I'm concerned, that mystery is still on the table. Zaku's have a bio component. Plus, It ties into Season 1's whole these people are biocomputers for the Gundams. If you try to watch Gundam Seed or Gundam Seed Destiny English dub, I recommend trying to watch the original Ocean dub, which is generally viewed as superior to the redub used in the HD version.
Different voice actors are taken.
Well, usually that's how it is, because the Ocean dub is, Australia?
That'll be interesting in those accents. Oh, I guess they maybe done in Australia, but we're trying to do a sort of North American accent to be.
Well, I don't mean that it's like Australian people. I just mean it's Australia based. Like there's I don't know if this Ocean dub is the same as Oceanic dub. Because, Dragon Ball Z has the Oceanic dub and the regular dub.
American one, yeah.
Nope, that is the end of the comments.
Now to
the board.
Our list. Well, the board.
Yeah, it's your first time doing this show, right? He's new here. Don't worry about him. Of course, I've got a board change log. So we'll start with that. I added Marilia Haw to unknown, because of course she shows up taking photographs of the concert. Added a green line between Athrun and Mayrin directly, in order to add a purple arrow on it pointing from Mayrin to Athrun.
Yeah.
Added a purple arrow from Mir to Athrun, because I guess I hadn't done that yet. Added a green line between Hein and Durandal. And added a green line between Hein and the Minerva crew.
Yeah. Hein, yeah, that's his name. I was like, oh, blonde guy, but I didn't know what his name was, so. Westenfluss. I guess we can also add a purple line from Luna Maria to Arthur. Because I think it's one side, just like mirroring, it's one-sided.
I guess maybe I'll remember to do that next time.
Yeah. Because she was very much put off when, because I just watched it I didn't watch a clip show again. I just watched the episode before that.
Oh, I watched them both.
When Mir comes in, running in, it's like, she actually shoulders her aside and she was like, what the?
Well, I mean, I said it like 5-6 episodes ago.
Yeah.
That I think that I remember it was my thing that I said I think Luna Maria is going to die because they're very heavily pushing her towards having Athrun as a love interest, but Athrun has expressed nothing on her side, so it feels like an unrequited love sort of thing, which implies that she'll be the next to die.
I mean, both sisters seem to be having a crushing on him. So.
Yeah, but no, Marin wasn't a thing back then. She's only starting to express it recently. So that's why I had all those comments about Luna Maria.
Yep.
All right, well, you have more notes than I do, so you go first.
All right, then. Most of these notes are from Phase 19, or Chapter 19, The Hidden Truth. Arthur's reaction to seeing Mir tells me that he really hasn't gotten over the whole breakup with Lacus. Sure, he accepts that real Lacus is with his battle brother, Kira, but considering that Kigali was willing to go through the marriage with Yuna, I can understand his mixed emotions. I'm not saying that he's like, oh my god, I'm in love with this woman or whatever. It's just that I can feel like, all the things coming in, like he has the Hawk sister sort of hanging on his literally on his shoulders, on his arms. She sees her, up close and singing like Lacus. he heard Luna Maria told him about, hey, I think Kigali escaped, but we're not really sure if she got married or not, whatever, right? So I don't know. Well, and this again, the weird thing is that we know that at least the captain and Durandal know that Kigali and Arthur are not a thing. They figured it out, right? And possibly even Marin as well, because she was on the bridge, right? The way Kigali was acting clearly was like, I'm worried about Athrun. Where's Athrun? Blah, blah, blah. And so it's like, there's something there, right? But it doesn't seem like Luna Maria got the message, I guess, because she mentions it, but then doesn't mention it again. And I have more on Kigali and Durandal later on, but I can see Athrun going like, man, I was in Orb. They shot at me. Now I rejoined Zaft. I see this girl again. My not fiance, because he gave her a ring. Possibly married a jackass that I hated, but I couldn't do anything about. I'm like torn, right? Emotionally torn about all this. So his reactions are like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, you're Natalie Imbruglia. I said you're Natalie Imbruglia.
I guess.
I can see the perfect sky is torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. Come on, man.
Yeah. Natalie Imbruglia. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I guess you weren't paying attention to all the comments that kept telling us that Lacus and Athrun weren't really in love. That I mean, I disagree with putting it out there. Just putting it out there to poke fun at you because you're bringing it up that your whole point is he might not be over her, when all these people are rallying against us to say he was never really that into her. I don't know. I disagree.
I think that's a little bit of chip sinking, right? Now we have the official couple, so of course he was never into her, right? Sure.
I mean, it's one of the big reasons why I don't like Lacus. So, all right. Well, my first note is a quick one sentencer. Hurt people is the shortest way I've heard the message of Gundam seed made succinct.
Yeah. No notes in that one. In fact, I saw it and I was like, yeah, that's, Arthur is just repeating what Kigali told her. But Kigali's repeating what her father told him.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they're doing the whole, you kill somebody to take revenge and then somebody kills you to take revenge. They're doing the whole longer thing. It's like, I just found 4 words. It's like, hurt people.
Yeah. My second note, talking about Mir. The animators love to emphasize Mir's assets.
The things that Lessons loves to talk about in every show for some reason.
I mean,
like we're talking about Macross Frontier, and you're like, this show loves to focus on boobs, and you're like, I wouldn't focus as much on it if you just couldn't keep bringing it up. It's you who's focused.
But they keep doing it, and I'm like, okay, I mean...
Yeah, okay, I guess there's also the difference here of it takes the animator 5 seconds. Or not 5, 5 seconds is a long time. Like a second of screen time to show, woo, But it takes you like 10 to 15 seconds to talk about it. So it feels like you talk about it more than it's a thing.
But it happens more than once as well. It's not just it happens once per episode. And considering what we're expected to see in the next on.
Yep, Lesson's going to have them wandering eyes.
More like, I'm not going to go like this again, so.
Well, no, the episode's called Wandering Eyes. It's the name of the episode.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a play on words. Were you finished your comment? Because I felt like there was more to it.
No, that's it.
Okay, just Lessons has a problem with boobs, I guess.
I don't have a problem with boobs. I'm just noting the fact that they're laying the fan service thick in here, especially around Mir, All
right. Well, my next one then. How are we thinking that Durandal is the bad guy when we are getting told that the super racists that keep launching nukes at the plants are run by a wartime industrial complex that only exists to keep the war going perpetually in order to make money on it. It's like the Earth Federation wasn't evil enough, so we started stacking bad things on top of one another. By comparison, the only real crime we can tack onto Durandal is identity theft.
I think the problem is he's up to something, and he hasn't revealed what he's up to right now. So, yeah, that's the thing that rubs me the wrong way.
Since we know that you hate mysteries, that the mystery of what Durandal is up to makes him worse, in your opinion, than the rapist corporate types that run the Federation.
Rapists?
I didn't say that.
What did you say?
I don't even know what you heard me say. I don't know which part you picked that from. I think I said... You must be racist. You must have heard... I said racist, and you heard...
racist. Like, what the...
I'm trying to figure out what word you misheard, because I was like corporate... I said, like, racist corporate types.
Okay.
Yeah, so the thing is that you don't give them the same time of day you give Durandal to try and figure out what he's up to.
I know they're generic evil. They're like just evil. I know they're evil.
To be fair, they're not generic evil. They're like a couple of different types of generic evils all put together. As I said, the Federation's not evil enough. They're layering it. Oh, you remember the racist bad guys? It turns out they're being run by the corporations. It's like, we gotta figure out what's worse than corporations for the next tier up.
Yeah, they're a shit cake all the way down. So yeah, no amount of either glazing or whipped cream is gonna fix that shit. Yeah,
but the idea is that you keep like Durandal's our real bad guy only because you don't know what he's up to. But as the guys that we do know what they're up to are really bad, they might just be the real bad guys.
Oh no, you can have more than one bad guy, especially in this series.
Yeah. It's just I think the real bad guys are the real bad guys.
I never said otherwise.
No, you just keep indicating that Durandal might be the real bad guy. And I'm like, the real bad guys might be the real bad guys. Like, how many more tiers do we have to add on that to beat Durandal's grinning every so often?
Yeah, I don't trust that grin. Talking about Durandal, that's my next note. It seems like we did see Captain Gladys and Durandal in that brief scene earlier in the show. They were apparently, done, I guess. He was reading. He was naked. She was getting dressed. But this time, they don't seem to be too close, or at least he keeps her at a distance, meaning that the relationship, such as it is strictly physical. Yet, they're sitting side by side at the table. So I'm getting like mixed results. Like, they're kind of close, but not too close, or... Well,
I'm going to skip two of my notes to go to one that sort of entire with yours. The relationship between Ray, Durandal, and Talia is still a major mystery. In the subtitles, Ray calls him Gil. In English, he says Gilbert. Either way, he's got this wide-eyed smile on his face and launches himself into Durandal's arms. You floated the idea that maybe Ray is their son, but the way they talk and the way they look at each other, I'd probably lean more towards a polycule. There is just no textual information about any of this.
Yeah, I was going to say a note about that as well.
Well, it's just you were bringing up the way that they look. Like, Talia just doesn't look happy or enthused when Ray is hugging Durandal. It's like, if that's their son... I mean, there's levels to it. Like, maybe no internal monologue. Maybe she's like, oh, man, he brought our son into the war or something, right? This could be anything.
Yeah. My take on it is, again, Ray calls Durandal Gil, or Gilbert, as you mentioned.
Which isn't also the first time, because that's why I said we had a pet name for him in the past.
That's what I say again. But the nature of the relationship was not explained. But it seems like Gladys knows, or at least suspects, because she has she gives him a glance, like, okay, this is happening, right? Like,
I didn't take a note about it, but I did notice that when Durandal is like pumping Shin up, Shin also gives him a look that's almost similar to what the one Ray gave him.
Yeah, kind of adoration, right? Okay, your next note? Oh no, that was
I was about to, but it sounded like you were about to read one, and I was going to interrupt. So I was like,
yeah. Who's the blonde, not Ray Mobile suit pilot?
Hein.
Durandal's personal guard? Yeah, Klein. Klein?
No, Hein. I said Hein.
Hein. Yeah. So this is not the first time we've seen him, though.
No,
right?
he was on the board before now. I didn't add him to the board this time. I just connected him to people because we've seen him before.
Yeah, I think we saw him in the base in the opening where people were walking around and the Phantom Pain stole the Gundams.
Well, here, I'll add my note about him. Whoever Hein is, he's also our third member of Faith that I'm aware of, at least. I didn't realize it first, but I remembered Shin and gang looking shocked when first meeting him and was trying to figure out why. Then I spotted the Faith crest on his uniform.
Interesting.
You'll also notice on the board, I didn't have it in my changelog, that I also added the Faith to the members who are in Faith on the board.
Yeah. Now for perhaps he's not the real bad guy, but I'm still keeping an eye on him. I don't buy the Rondo statement that he didn't know what was going on Earth, especially with territories that rebel against the Earth Alliance, territories that SAF has no real obligation to aid, yet conveniently expand SAF's areas of control on the surface.
He says that people are asking him, or countries are asking Zaft for help.
Yeah. But he's like, I don't know what's going on. It's like, don't you know what's going on? Really? Just happens that people are like, oh no, you couldn't predict that. That was a thing that was not conceivable that people would turn to you, because there's two major powers, the Earth Alliance and you, and the Earth Alliance tried to nuke the plants, and people might go like, yeah, that was a little extreme, right? And by the way, you sent forces to help, people on Earth after the disaster with the broken something they call it, the broken Earth or broken.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have. Yeah. Hold on, I have the timeline. Break the World incident.
Yeah, break the world incident.
I wrote the little note 73 CE. Break the World incident equals the forced fall of. I've been calling it Janus 7 this whole time. Apparently, it's Junius 7 or something like that.
Junius, yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna keep calling it Janus 7. Okay, I don't live in the world. They're not dead people to me. I don't know. The whole idea of what Durandal knows and doesn't know, I think I've got notes about later, but they're mixed in with other things, so I'm not going to add it to this bit. I mean, it's geopolitics is complicated, and just because he's operating within the realm of obvious large-scale events doesn't mean he knows everything that's going on Earth, which is what he's saying.
True. No, because he's saying, here's the thing. According to his deployments and the discussion they had before, Eurasia, parts of Eurasia are rebelling, and guess we might have to go there. Well, we don't have orders to deal with Lonengrind, but the city got liberated because you dealt with Lonengrind, right? I'm like, you're doing things blindly? Doesn't seem like you're doing things blindly. Gladys
you're attributing to Durandal the efforts of local base commanders.
Yeah, but if he wants to keep peace, he's supposed to be keeping them in tight reins, and he's not unhappy about it.
There's also the element that no leader is expected to lead everything themselves.
True, but I think I said this before. I think his strategy is to weaken the Earth Alliance by aiding those who are against them, right? Oh, we're not
a horrible bad guy.
We're not conquerors here. We're just helping people
out. We're going to weaken the Earth Alliance by being better friends to everybody on Earth. Oh, take him down.
Yeah, but he could be
he's
actually
up to something.
He might be encouraging them in a way that,
makes them better. Gives them personal freedom that they didn't previously have.
Well, see let's see if they actually get that.
All I can do is comment on what's actually happened so far.
I have my suspicions still.
I know you do. You think he's worse than the corporate racists, which is weird because all he does is smile. God, I hate that Dalai Lama. And, well, for one, you should probably not like the Dalai Lama. He's done some nefarious shit in the past. I hate that Buddha. So self-righteous and happy.
What's next?
I wonder why Shin even cared if Athrun was going to watch Amir's performance. Like, he looked sad and disappointed when Athrun and company started walking away.
I think it has to do with Luna Maria.
I don't think so.
I
think when they were all standing together, he was standing next to Mayrin, not Luna Maria.
No, they were both coming up, the three of them, right? And then a guy bumps Mayrin. Mayrin grabs her, and
no, I'm talking about before that, when they were all together. I think Shin was standing next to Mayrin, not Luna Maria. Luna Maria obviously was on. I can't remember. Luna Maria was on the far side of Athrun, and then the other side of that would have been Mayrin, and the next to that would have been Shin.
No, but I think Shin was forward of them. They were walking toward him. They were not.
I'm talking about when they were a line up before anything happens at all. Like, there's a shot very specifically that doesn't include everybody, but it's like Mayrin and Shin, and then that's it. I'm not. I'm just listing that. I don't buy into what you're saying. That Shin is involved with any of these people. Shin doesn't hang out with them.
I mean, they're their fellow pilots.
Cool. So. That doesn't mean they have a social life together outside of being pilots. In fact, Luna Maria says shit about Shin being a shit when they were in the academy together. I don't think they hang out at all. Like, you see Rey with Shin more than those two.
Yeah, because they're roommates. They're roommates, so yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They don't hang out. Mm-hmm. Just because you're in a show together doesn't mean you hang out. Vis-a-vis us, I don't see you when I hang up. Right? We don't hang out together just because we're on the show. Yeah, give that look, even though I proposed us play games together on your stream before. Don't give me that shit. I've been... I don't know what I've been. I don't know where that was going. Sometimes right the here, trail man. Of consciousness. Yeah.
Right here, man.
Tell that to the kids.
Yeah.
Your thought.
My thought. Blonde guy. We already established who he is.
Which one?
Smirk at
Hein,
yeah.
Sorry, blonde guy used to be your nickname for Ray. So
yeah, but now it's Hein. Smirks at Randall giving his Merchant of Death speech. The whole thing, the logos is behind it. Blue Cosmos. Basically, it is a Merchant of Death or Merchants of Death speech. Makes me not trust this guy. It smacks of the old man is laying it thick for the rubes kind of situation.
Like, it's more so that you don't trust anyone that's happy. That's apparently what I'm getting.
I'm not saying that they're happy. I wish,
or anyone who's happy. Anyone who's happy with a speech. Apparently, that's a good speech. Smiles. Oh, I see what you're up to. This is a bad speech. This is a speech about bad stuff.
That was my note.
It just follows through. Durandal grinned a couple of times. Hate that guy. Heinz grinning at Durandal. Hate that guy.
I could be proven wrong. We have a lot of episodes to go.
Or you could be proven. You could be on the right side, but at the same point, I'm not going to give you any credit because your whole proof was just they grinned a couple of times.
Well, I added more than that, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, but like I said, the only thing we can tack on to Durandal is that he's guilty of identity theft, and he'd be like, I knew he was the big man. It's like, he grinned. You jumped on him because he grinned. So our 3 Earth Federation Gundam pilots don't care about the war goals or the planning. They say that they only care about doing as much as they can for them.
I mean, if they are logos, Blue Cosmos, fanatics, then sure.
They're not. That's the indication that I'm getting.
Yeah.
They don't care about the planning or the fights going the way that they want them to. They only care about doing as much as they can for them.
Oh, the speech of one of them is like, no, if we're not winning, we're losing, and that's bad. And Phantom Pain does not tolerate failure.
Yeah, same guy. the end of that speech, though. You're only referring to the one bit in the beginning where the other guy's like, well, we're not... He's talking to the guy in the green in the back. But the end speech is that they don't care about the overarching plans or anything like that. They're just trying to do what they can for them.
Who's them?
I don't know. I literally air quoted them. He just says them. Yeah. Also, it's different from the... I took that from the English. It's different from the subtitles where they indicate something else. So in English, they say them.
Well, again, and when I say again because we talked about this in the end of the episode. Again, what is Mia doing while Durandal is talking to Arthur ostensibly in private? She's a performer, not a member of the military or a politician that we know of. Considering that Durandal was asking about the Archangel and that it is public knowledge what happened with it and Kigali, I think it is again its way of manipulating Arthur. He mentions Lacus, but doesn't mention Kigali, who will be more important figure if he wants peace, as she might still have influence within Orb.
All right, to answer your questions in order, waiting probably in Atherin's room.
No, she was sitting in a bench right there while they were talking.
Oh, right, because I remember the little red Harus floating dancing around, and we know that that's not Mr. Pink. Anyway, well then, why'd you ask if you already knew?
Am I asking why is she doing there while they're supposed to?
Because she's waiting for Atherin, obviously.
She could have been.
Remember, they're going to go out to dinner because Durandal's paying for it. He said that. So they're waiting to go out to dinner first. Your camera froze. Never mind. There you go. You cut up.
Okay. My setup. The setup is Durandal turns to us and is like, "We need to talk in private, right?" Next up, they're talking in the garden, and she's just like,
"Yeah, well, she's a relative. She's a relative distance away." So
but
anyway, you say what they have in the Archangel is public knowledge. He's asking if he knows where the Archangel is, not if he knows what happened. Well, he did ask if he knows what happened, and he did, but he is asking for information about where it's at currently. That's why they have the whole back and forth about where he says, "Hey, also, if you find out, can you tell me?" It's like, yeah, okay, sure.
Durandal asks because he wants to know where Lacus is. It's like, I want to know where Lacus is because I would like them to return to the plants, right? That would be a good idea.
Would be.
At no moment, but he knows about the relationship between Arthur and Kigali. Never brings up Kigali, who would
obviously Lacus is the more important thing to him right now because he's got a fake Lacus sitting on a bench nearby. So, also, Orb signed its agreement. So, obviously, Kigali's not super important right now.
Could be in the future, though.
Would it be? Doesn't seem like she was in charge of Orb at the time either. In fact, all she did was walked around plant saying really loud, high and mighty shit, which didn't turn out to be true either. Turns out to me that more likely the Sirens are in control of Orb, not the Athas anymore. Could have not been that way had one guy not chosen to blow himself up with all of the leading members of the government and its most important industry. See, that's what was important for you to have watched the other episode. There was a clip show. It was a whole hell of a lot of reminders about, like, I forgot that Morgan Rowe blow themselves up too, along with Athos and the rest of the government. But that was there in the clip show, The Past, as it was called.
Go ahead.
I guess Durandal's speech is something akin to a detective movie's wrap-up, where they are talking about the discovery of a culprit and they get to the who stands to benefit question. Who stands to benefit from these wars? The obvious answer would be the organization that wins them, but I guess the idea here is that both sides have created a scenario that if any one side did win, that they'd be worse off than they were before the war began. That there is only one group that would come out of a war better off than where they started, and that being the people getting paid to peddle the weapons themselves. I guess at the head of zaft itself, as the head of zaft itself, Durandal just has access to enough intelligence to know that Logos is a thing. When it comes to the Alliance side, when we were with them, the higher-ups were constantly hiding things from our narrative perspective, to the point that the higher-ups being Blue Cosmos was an unknown till the end.
True. But in that scene, I was going to put that as a note, because the reaction to when he mentions Logos, they're like, some people seem to already know that name for some reason. And others like, Logos? But nobody actually asks, okay, what is Logos, right? And it just says, oh, the man behind the man. Who's behind the man? Right?
Well, because he's telling us what Logos is in the thing, so...
Yeah. But they don't seem...
I would think they were idiots if they asked you what Logos was, and it's like, well, I'm just telling you. If you shut the fuck up for a second, I could finish. Like, you wouldn't ask in the middle of a description of it. And that's why hydrogen is the most important molecule in the, in the solar system, and that's where the sun is... But what's hydrogen? Shut the fuck up.
But it means they didn't seem to be entirely... Well,
there was a bunch of shocked faces.
And Athen didn't seem to be that surprised.
Athen was just angry.
Yeah. So there's that. What's your next? No, that was your note, right?
That was a note, yes.
Yes, that was a note. Well, this is just one note that I put into the chapter 20 past. Clip show. And the Global Report was a better clip show than this.
No, it wasn't. Global's report was just filled... Global, at least Shin, interjects so much more than Global did. Because Global's, is just talking to a thing, giving his thing.
Yeah.
But, Shin is at least giving perspective. And there's actually added scenes in this. Global Report had no added scenes.
Actually, they have added scenes because it was him talking, and then Misa comes in.
That's bullshit. Saying Global Report had added scenes, which is just the added scene of Global talking into a thing. This actually had added scenes of, hey, here's Shin and his family having fun. Here's Shin talking about what his family would have been up to about this time. Here's an added scene of Shin in the belly of the ship, where the captain comes to talk to him. There's added contextual scenes about Shin's life, etc., that actually adds to stuff. Whereas Global Report's added scene was, hey, here's Global talking into a mic.
If they have focused on that instead of like literally spending about 80% of it just showing us everything that we already seen, I guess. I mean, that's what the clip show is anyway, but still.
Yeah, but literally this one added stuff to it that we never seen before. Global Report did none of that. Global Report was literally just a clip show, with at the very end, Global talking into a microphone. It was worse. Global Report was worse.
Yeah, I disagree.
I know.
I guess I was expecting more.
I was
expecting more from this episode that they delivered, and the fact that it turned into a clip show was like, that's...
Well, that seems like it's on you. Your expectations made it worse. The show did not make it worse.
Well, the next time on set up expectations that the show didn't deliver on. Like, it was like the part they showed was when he was training in the plants. It's like, oh, we're gonna get his backstory with the other characters.
Yeah, we saw that scene. We saw that in the episode.
And that's it. That was just, oh, I trained. Okay.
And... Oh, goddamn this show for giving me exactly what it showed me.
But it wasn't enough. I wanted to know more about Chen and what happened in those intervening years or months.
I just remind me when me and Justin were watching the first season, and they show Athrun in a fight with Kigali, a shootout, which turns out to be like the very last minute of the episode. So the entire episode, that next time on doesn't happen, and then it's right there at the end, and then it dead ends into the credits, and then it's another next time. It's like, what? What the fuck? But to me, that's just lasting funny. I'm going to keep talking about that forever, because it's funny that they last a minute of the episode was the next time on. That's right there. I would say that's right there with Macross's fighting Mayor Amelia, where it was like a minute of the episode, but you named the whole fucking episode half of it. Anyway, my final note. It doesn't feel like Logos' plan is for perpetual war, though, despite what Durandal is saying. We've seen from Lord Gibbral's side that it seems like they are trying to end the war in a way that wipes out their enemies, so that they can start over again with themselves in charge of everything. Doesn't feel like the plan Durandal is suggesting. More like what their plan might have been up to until now, and maybe they've changed ideals, which could mean Durandal is only introducing us to what they were without knowing what they've changed either.
I mean, if your first move is a massive nuclear strike to kill everybody in an act of, spatial genocide, then I think they really wanted. You're right. They really want to end the war in one hit, but failed.
Well, remember, we had a whole conversation back and forth about the idea that, I'm blanking now. We had a conversation about the idea that he almost seemed to have a savior complex. Because it's that same scene where we pan out from his mansion to the trash in the woods, and he's like, "You've got to get rid of the trash if you want to start over again." And like, well, how do we handle this? Well, we'll handle this after we get rid of them. Like, it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission thing. When we're done wiping them out, we can start over again. And it's like, that's not
nobody's going to question. Nobody's going to question it.
Yeah, that's not the sound of people that want to continue a war perpetually to keep making profits. Those are the sound of the people that have, I don't know, some plan for the future. Well, we know they have multiple plans, but that the Logos that Durandal is describing does not sound like the Logos that we know, which then go towards your "how does he not know everything" question, because it seems like he doesn't even know this. Durandal does not have all the information.
Those were the notes as I have them. So there we are.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
God, that must be fun to be boring. Hey, it's the tower that Artesia got stuck in. Time to censor shit. Or I guess I can use the one that I already used to censor this.
Yeah.
Is it alright if we bring a third? I have to assume that those are his boxers or something, because I don't know why he'd be thrown.
Oh.
As though you got anything with that butt shot that you gave us before.
Yeah.
Because, Atherin, publicly you're known to be with Lacus.
And yeah, wearing that.
So maybe she sleeps and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's not supposed to be sleeping with him without permission.
See? An engaged couple.
そんなことはしない。
しないの？なんで？
Like I said, Lacus and Athrun are publicly known to be together, despite all the past, for some reason, I guess, not getting out. So, this is like, you know, pretend we're together.
Yeah, without telling him that was a plan, right?
Oh
He
yeah,
went
like
to
it's
his
such a
room.
massive, like it's such a massive surprise that the girl who seems to be super into you is super into you.
Yeah, no, that was a bad move on her part.
Yeah, you say. I really like Mir.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have the weirdest objections sometimes. Can't
I
stop
don't.
staring at boobs, but you have a real problem when they show up.
I mean, I don't have a. I think they're over. How can I put this?
You say they're overrated? Was that what you meant to say?
No,
So I
it's
can
just the fan
hashtag that
service.
on the bottom of the thumbnail. Boobs are overrated / lessons.
No, I think what's bad is that she snuck into his room dressed like that.
Well, I doubt she
Without
stuck
his
into the room
permission.
dressed like that. She probably stuck in his room, then changed.
Either way, you know.
Well, to be
I mean,
fair,
that's
he's
a
probably
bad-
not paying for the room. Durandal's probably paying for the room, so it's what Durandal wants at this point.
議長もう立たれたの？
ええ、お忙しい方だもの。昨日ああしてお話できたのが不思議なくらいでしょ？ほんと。
あ、まあ。
シーンはいいわよね。昨日はあんなお褒めの言葉までいただいて、今日はオフだし。
Well, of course.
ルンルンだわ。
Durandal set him up to be in the Impulse in the first place.
別に。
He already thinks he's hot shit.
昨日のミネルヴァのひよっこだろ？もう一人のフェイスのやつはどうした？うん。
失礼いたしました。おはようございます。
あ、
体調はまだお部屋だと。そしたらその兵隊さん、顔真っ赤にしてね。ありがとうございますってすんごく大きな声で。
なるほどね。わかったわかった。サンキュー。
I understand, man.
おはようございます、ラクス様。お、
おはようございます。
Get off him.
昨日
Get off me. That was like, get off me already.
基地の兵士たちも大層喜んでおりましたね。これでまた
Well,
士気も上が
I
る。
can see why.
ハイネさんも楽しんでいただけましたか？
はい、それはもう。昨日はゴタゴタしてて、まともに挨拶もできなかったな。
Also, the fact that her personal guards allowed this to happen.
よろしくな、アスラン。
What do you mean allow? I don't feel like you understand the premise.
知ってるよ。
She's Lacus Klein. Lacus Klein is known to be with Athrun.
最近だけどな。
Anytime we can get these two together,
クルーゼ隊にいたんだろ？
great.
はい。俺は対戦
Not for Athrun, though.
Hawkins' team.
夜勤ルーエでは
Is that the team that I- No, okay.
ラクス様
There was the other team besides the Rowlercrest team. I thought it might have been them. It's not.
へえ。
お願いします。
はーい、仕方ありませんわね。ではアスラン、また後ほど。
ああ、はい。仲いいんだな、結構。
You can see Luna Maria in the background going like,
い
I
や
hate
そ
that
んなこ
bitch.
とは。いいじゃないの。仲いいってことはいいことよ。うん。はい、まあ。で、この3人と昨日の金髪の全部で4人か。ミネルヴァのパイロットは。
Yeah, Ray decided to stay on the ship.
インパルス、ザクウォーリア、セイバー。そして、あいつがブレイズザクファンドムか。はい。
And he's, I said, pointing to myself.
Mhm.
艦長も。
Oh no, he's Ray. He's pointing to the air. Ray is
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
としては十分だよな。なのになんで俺にそんな船に行けというかね。議長は。
ミネルヴァに乗られるんですか？
Okay, I'll have to tie him into that line then.
休暇明けから配属さ。 船の方には後で着任の挨拶に行くが、なんかめんどくさそうだよな。フェイスが3人ってのは。
いえ、
ま、いい
That's
さ。
right. It's gonna be a ship full of people that don't have to report to one another.
立場の違う人間には見えてるものも違うってね。とにかくよろしくな。議長期待のミネルヴァだ。なんとか答えてみせようぜ。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
ではアスラン、
はい、どうぞ気をつけて。
キスくらいはするでしょ普通。
いい加減にしろ。
I hope there's like,
Yeah.
I hope Fra is paparazzi. That she's not a war reporter, that she's paparazzi just trying to take pictures of
Yeah.
Catherine and
さあどうしよう
Lacus.
かな。今日はこれから
どうって？
街に出た
at the very least, it's not going the way you thought it would, and that he would be like upset that Kigali may have married another man willingly and was
Yeah.
going with it.
Yeah. He's amused.
せっかくの休暇だ。のんびりしてくればいい。船には俺が戻るから気にしなくていいぞ。でも、
You've literally got no
今日もいい
investment in
で
this.
すよね。ラクス様と十分ゆっくりされて。
Yeah, that's gonna get you closer to him.
どうせならラクス様
Well, she's being sincere right now.
差し上げればよかったのに。
ルナマリア。
隊長はフェイスですもん。そうされたって問題はないでしょ。
ちょっと待て、ルナマリア。先に行ってくれ。はい。
I legit don't even know why Athrun cares right now.
いただきます。
What, I look like bright?
さんのことは俺にも落ち度があることだから言い訳はしたくないが、君は誤解してるし、それによってそういう態度を取られるのは困る。
誤解も何もないと思いますけど。わかりました。以後気をつけます。ラクス様がいらしている時は。
いや、だから
大丈夫です。お二人のことは私だってちゃんと理解してるつもりですか
To be
ら。
fair, I think you fully misunderstand everything.
Yes, yeah.
One, there's nothing going on between me and Lacus, Luna Maria. But two, there's nothing
Yeah.
going on between me and you, Luna Maria.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ああ、なんか同じようにこの辺の町少し回っていくんだって。ラクスクラインも
前の戦争の時は敵だって戦ってさ、それが今じゃこうだもんな。ほんとわからねえもんさ。
コーディネーターなんてやっぱりちょっとおっかない気もするけどさ、あの乱暴者の連合軍に比べたら全然マシだよ。ちゃんと紳士じゃないか。
ただの補充兵じゃないわよね。
I only got the basics. I will, of course, pause on that and read it later.
まったく
Yeah.
何を考えてるのかしら、あの人は。
So we got boobs and panties this episode.
しかし人というものはそれで儲かると分かると逆も考えるものさ。これも仕方のないことでね。
殺されたから殺して、殺したから殺されて、それで本当に最後は平和になるのかと。
See, like I said, I got that down to 4 words.
人類の歴史にはずっとそう人々に叫び、常に産業として
Hey, remember the last clip show episode?
Yeah.
そもそもなぜ必要なのだ。
Do you? Because we're a little more clips for you.
Again, yeah.
もう悲劇は繰り返
Some of these clips you saw last episode in the last clip show.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm going to go so far as to say all of these were the last episode.
だから絶対やっつけてほしいんだ。あの砲台、今度こそ。
I guess they really did run out of time.
間違いなく彼らロゴスがいるだろう。彼らこそがあのブルーコスモスの母体でもあるのだからね。できることならそれを何とかしたいのだがね、私も。だがそれこそは
Who would rid me of this meddlesome priest?
難しいのだよ。
I mean, he's blind, so.
I don't mean that's a Shakespeare.
I know, but there's also a priest in the show, Reverend Malcho, who I'm guessing is blind. Who's it? What's it? Sorry, I can't remember the rest of that song.
But they meet again. Of course, she doesn't know. Well, they don't know that they're pilot of.
Okay. Based on the next time on, I thought it was going to be a misunderstanding, like she actually just dived and then he went to go and save her, but the fact that she's struggling seems to imply not.
I mean, she's wearing a dress, so that's not going to be great for swimming.
Unless it's a swimming dress.
And that can actually happen a lot.
Punched him in the face. That scratched him. Okay. Yeah. I saw the blood. I was trying to figure out where it came from.
Actually, that's a good technique on him. Because I don't know, you done had any training, lifeguard training?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No,
there used to
obviously.
Be a technique. There used to be a technique where
the flying backbreaker.
You go down.
Where you say someone by flying.
No,
back.
you actually you're supposed to grab them from behind. Part of it because people will do that. They will scratch. They will try to grab you and drain you, and drain you. Drown you.
Oh, she's gonna drain him, all right. I mean, even if she doesn't know that he's a Gundam pilot, she must know that he's a zaft citizen at the very least.
Why?
Because she encountered him on a zaft base, Armory 1. You forgot?
Yeah.
Or she... Oh, so he must think that's who she is. He doesn't remember her.
Yeah. Like I was saying, you're supposed to grab a
Also, sorry, real quick,
behind.
before you go into your lifeguard training. They're standing up in the water that she would have fallen into from that height.
Well, I think he dragged it to this bay. The water would have been much further over there.
No,
deeper
it's
into the
right.
water.
Literally, they're looking up at it, so this thing is surrounded by this deep water, which is to say, not deep at all.
It seemed deep enough that he jumped in it and didn't
Because
kill
he had
himself.
jumped outwards, further out, but we saw that she just fucking slipped, so she would have fallen close to the edge.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Doesn't have to be.
I mean,
they're in the opening and endings together. So
true, but right now the last thing he could say. Oh wow.
Yeah, I've done worse. I accidentally walked on barnacles. Didn't realize it until I was wondering who the hell is dropping all this fucking red paint on the beach.
Yeah, no, I had a fire coral, which is ouch. I ripped my my knee on fire coral, which not only is very sharp, it's also poisonous.
Yeah, it's the poisonous bit there. Unfortunately, I guess barnacles are sharp enough that you can cut yourself on them without even realizing you've done it.
Oh dear. He's activated a beacon to get picked up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but this was on the next time on. I already knew this was coming.
Oh.
Don't have any. And he's gonna take it the wrong way, thinking that she's the same as him.
Yeah, an orphan.
ごめん、今は大丈夫だよ。僕が俺がちゃんとここにいて守るから。
ステラを守る。死なない。
大丈夫。死なないよ。あ、俺シンアスカっていうのわかる
？The idea of the more you talk to her, the greater your chance of hitting her code word by accident.
Yeah. Oh,
she keeps looking over though.
Yeah, well.
I mean, that's how it works in this show, right? Athrun and Golly found themselves the same way.
Well, he
なんでこんなところで遭難するんだ。別に遭難したわけじゃないですよ。ただちょっとこの子が崖から海に落ちちゃって、助けてここに上がったのはいいけど動けなくなっちゃって。リオキアの町の子か？いえ、それがちょっとはっきりしなくて。
So now essentially he created an infiltrator on the very ship that she's programmed to destroy.
Well, I don't think they're going to take her to the ship. Why would they take her to the ship? They're asking if she's from the city, or the town rather, so they'd probably just take her to the town. Where her people are waiting.
Yeah. Or to the base.
No, the base is part of the town. I think these two are in real trouble. Imagine if they came back without her.
Yeah.
That was them. Yeah, I was saying.
zaft のジープじゃんか。
Yeah, this reminds me of you know, Amuro crossing paths with
どうしたんだお前。一体。
海に落ちたんです。俺ちょうどそばにいて。でもよかった。この人のこといろいろわかんなくて、どうしようかと思ってたんです。
そうです。
Wow, all those belts.
それはすみませんでした。ありがとうございます。
You have no fucking idea. Go back and watch episode 1 of the first season of Gundam seed. You'll have an idea about belts.
では、zaft の方々には本当にいろいろとお世話になって。
Well, thank you, all right.
Yeah.
あ、ごめんね。でもほら、お兄さんたち来たろ。だからもう大丈夫だろ。あ、ほら、また会えるからきっと。
Yeah, on the battlefield, where she's obsessed with killing, destroying, you know, your Gundam.
I mean, she's got the name now, so she ever.
Yeah, you will.
So she ever hears his name, like, over the radio or something. Because, you know, it always seems to be, like, open comms.
And
then you abandoned me.
Yeah. Well, technically, he left it to her family, right?
Doesn't matter.
Like, I save a girl, and the dad or brother show up. I was like, oh, here you go. You know, I did my civic duty.
Yeah, but you don't know what the home life's like. If you say, I'll protect you, and it turns out she's being abused by her dad, and then you hand it over to her dad, and then we get that scene where she's watching him go off, and you said you'd protect me. And you're like, I'm a good guy. Then you don't even. I mean,
how would I know that?
That's not the point. That's not the point. You knowing does not have anything to do with the fact that what she thinks.
I mean,
again, you're thinking about this in a real perspective, and I'm talking about like in a narrative perspective, like a what do you call that? It's not an irony. Twist of fate? No. Like the little narrative maneuvers you pull when you're writing something for character interactions that aren't the way that they seem to be on first glance.
Twist?
Well, I said twist of fate. It's not what I meant. Anyway, hold on. Hey, all of our favorite people.
かつてよく知るあの国とが苦渋の戦場に舞い降りるもう一つの力は次回機動戦士ガンダム
there goes the main cannon
蒼天の剣混迷の戦火打ち抜けフリーダム
Anyway, so this episode's going to be really good. What you were saying?
I mean, okay. He doesn't know. So he did the right thing. He's like, oh, these are your siblings, your brothers. You mentioned them there by name. You know, what is a kidnapper like Kira did? Oh, I'm gonna keep you safe. Here, let's take you to the base. Oh, I want to leave. I don't care. You're staying with me because I want to keep you safe. What's he was supposed to do?
I think again the difference is that you're asking a question based on the scene. Versus what you sometimes do, which is make statements with the knowledge of everything that is to come. Right? So you're asking, what is he to do? And I feel like the question should be only asked like 20 episodes from now. Like, what should he have done? Like, well, now we know how everything would have worked out. Here's what he should have actually done. Because I'm talking about in a narrative, and you're talking about realistically as he is right now.
Oh, okay, but see, I don't get your point.
Well, I'm not making a point. I'm not making a point. You're making an argument for no reason. I'm like not discussing a thing that required a discussion. I made a statement, and you're like, no, let's talk about this for the next 20 minutes.
Because the statement didn't make any sense to me. It's like, oh, you know.
I mean, fair enough. I point out things that you say wrong all the time, so I'm not getting on you for like making this whole discussion. I'm just saying that in a long-term narrative, obviously, this could play out differently. And you're like, what do you mean? Like, okay, whatever. I thought the writer would understand that the whole twists and narrative thing of, things not appearing as they are.
I said that already when it was happening. It's like, yeah, he's promising to protect her, but they're going to be their enemies. So that means the next time she gets into her Gundam, they're going to fight. And it turns out that she's obsessed with destroying the freedom.
I was more indicating towards the point that she said you'd protect me, and then feels like she's being abandoned when they drive off, which is the thing you latched onto for some reason.
I didn't get that she felt abandoned.
She literally is like staring off in the distance, not wanting to get into the car with the two people that she was been with this whole time, and then she just, without any emotion to her voice, says, you said you'd protect me, and that's when they pull off. I feel a sense of abandonment from that scene.
I've read it differently.
I know, we always do.
So there you have it.
Oh God, what is that from?
What?
Was it Hellsing Abridged? I remember it differently.
Okay.
No, it's like a comedy thing. It might not even be a abridged series. Oh, no, it's a Nathan Fillion line, I believe. Captain Hammer says it. Captain Hammer's in my head for some reason. No, because Dr. Horrible, why, you almost hit her with the van. No, you threw in her garbage? I can't remember. It's one of the lines in there. And Captain Hammer goes, I remember it differently.
Go. So that was this episode.
We have nothing to say about the episode other than the argument we were having just before.
I mean, aside from all the fan service, which there was plenty of.
I mean, not
and
really.
Maria, well, literally, they were bookends of fan. Well, I'm not gonna go all over it. I mean, the opening was very fan servicey.
I don't consider the scene with Stella to be fan servicey because they don't maybe the shot where she stands up and you see her butt a little bit, but otherwise the camera stays this and up. They don't do anything with that. So really, it's just
the only thing is that now we have a new guy on board, another Faith agent, I guess, aboard the Minerva for whatever reason, right? We don't know why. In fact, he even says, "Oh, you got plenty of firepower. You don't need me." I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, when he shows up last 2 episodes ago, the first thing he does is he shake hands with Durandal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They seem to be personal, friends from.
Well, I don't know where you get that read from, but literally he gets out of his suit and goes over to Durandal with his landing thing. And this is no one else is around. Not no one else is around, but no one from our group is around there. He walks over to Durandal and shakes his hand, and then they go on to later show up at the dinner thing. So no, actually, it couldn't have been dinner because that wouldn't make any sense.
It was in the afternoon, though.
Well, it couldn't be dinner because then Athrun talks about going out for dinner, and then Mir says going out for dinner and taking Athrun. I guess it could be technically still dinner, and that Mir hasn't had dinner yet, and then she wants to take Athrun out, not knowing that Athrun just had dinner with Durandal. But then Durandal's like, "I'll pay for it." So weird that Durandal's just buying a second dinner for Athrun.
Yeah, here's my platinum card. Buy whatever lingerie you need.
Well, conceivably, the plan might be to take him somewhere on base, in which case it's just like, okay, requisition it, I guess.
They were in this hotel, though, so yeah.
Well, I think the idea is that they were going to go out, not eat at the hotel.
Yeah. Either way. So I think that's important. Then Luna Maria just getting pissed because, I have feelings for this guy who I know it's with somebody else, at least Lacus, right? And I'm shocked, I tell you, that her fiancé would be in her room, right?
Here's the thing. I was literally just watching this the other day. I was watching a thing about a beauty star who had an affair with a man who was pretty famous at the time. And it turns out in Japanese culture, if you're a woman who's cheating with a married man, you're the one that society comes down on.
Yeah.
But it still happens all the time. Yeah. That these women will also come out and make apologies for ruining or affecting negatively the careers of these married men. And the married men have nothing bad happens to them. So the idea that in this anime, which, context given has to be that despite how multicultural they might be in the show, the people writing it have the thought process of their own culture, that it might be common to hit on a married or soon-to-be married man, but all the negative, all the risk is going to be on Luna Maria's side. Athrun can do whatever the fuck he wants.
He actually doesn't want to, clearly. At least not with Mir, anyway.
Yeah. Weird choice.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing, but she's playing the idol card. And one of the things about idols is that they're supposed to not have boyfriends and not,
Well, Well, classic idols. Classical idols,
so.
yeah, not idols in this show. Because we were introduced to Lacus from the very beginning as Athrun being her fiance. And it's not like there's like a whole idol culture in seed. It's like she was the one and only, essentially.
Yeah. So there you go.
Because, I mean, to be fair, she was the daughter of Siegel Klein. And Siegel was the president of zaft, the council anyway, at the time. You don't want to, like, can't let my daughter have a fiance because she has to be available to every guy in zaft. Awkward from a dad perspective, especially when the dad's the president.
Yeah. Well, then my daughter's a floozy is that I have to peddle her as one. Yikes.
Well, I mean, think about it from like the real world perspective, like Bill Clinton's daughter. I can't remember her name. Like Bill Clinton's daughter. Yeah, Chelsea. Chelsea Clinton couldn't have a boyfriend because she had to be available for all the American males. Like, real weird, especially considering Bill Clinton's your dad and what he might have taught you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
The politics of a generation ago when we could have fun with this.
No. That left a bad taste in my mouth. Anyway.
Well, I don't know what you did with Chelsea Clinton, but...
No. God damn it.
Or is it something you did in the Oval Office?
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
Dresses do you wear?
Don't go there. God damn it. No.
I wish I'd made the second joke first, because that was the better one.
Good thing we're in 25 years into the 21st century, although Google exists, so there's that. But still, a lot of people are not going to get that joke. Thank God.
They will when they Google it, because you've already brought it up.
Anyway, there you have it. Those are my...
All right, so once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stone-Faced Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Google it.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?